For 8.4, here are two of the word problems, number 3 and 4. For these ones, we're just going to look at how to set them up, and then I'll leave the solving to you. Number 3, we have a helium balloon. It rises 120 meters in the first minute after it's released. So our A value is going to be 120. Each minute after that, it rises 3% less than the previous minute. So originally it had a 100% rise, then it's going to have a 97, a 94, reducing by 3% each time. So our R value is actually going to be 100% minus 3% because it's reducing the amount it goes by 3%. In other words, it's going to be a 97% rise. We would probably write that as a decimal, 0.97. Now we want to know how high the balloon is after 10 minutes, so we want the sum of the first 10 terms. So we're going to go ahead and put in our A and R values using an N value of 10. 120 times our bracket 1 minus 0.97 to the power of 10 all over 1 minus R, so 1 minus 0.97, which will be 0.03. Okay, I'll leave it to you to calculate that one. And let's go ahead and take a look at question 4 as well. For this one, if you invest $50 at the start of each year at 4% compounded annually, what is the value of your investment at the end of the 20 years? So the idea behind this one is that $50 that you originally invested, after 20 years, it will have received compound interest every year. But at the end, after that, when you're putting in another $50, that's only going to receive the compound interest for the years after that. You're not going to get retroactive interest. So at the end of the 20 years, when you, for example, invest another $50, you won't have any of the previous interest on that new $50. So this does actually end up being a sum question. Okay, for this we've got a starting value of 50. So we're going to do an A value of $50. Our R value is going to be what we're multiplying that by. So for 1 year interest, it will be the $50 plus 4% interest, or 1.04. We can go ahead and put this in our sum formula. Now we just need to decide on an appropriate N. So if I'm considering A at the beginning investment as my first, then at the end of 20 years, I'm actually looking at the start of the 21st year. So I'm going to find S21. Now the catch is, when I find S21, that's going to also include an extra $50 that I'm investing in year 21, which I don't want, but I do want the interest from year 20. So I'm going to find S21, and what I'll do afterwards is I'll subtract $50 to get to my answer at the end of 20 years. So let's go ahead and fill in whatever we know. 50 times bracket 1 minus 1.04, sorry, it's a little messy, to the power of 21, all over 1 minus R, so 1 minus 1.04. I'm just going to go ahead and write that as negative 0.04. And we can go ahead and calculate a value for S21. I will leave it to you to calculate that. Once you have that value for S21, to get your final answer, you're going to subtract $50 for the $50 that is invested in year 21. So we can know what the amount of the investment value was at the end of the 20 years. So if you answer this and check your answer in the answer key, you'll notice it includes subtracting that 50 to get to the final answer.